Yeah. Okay, curb story. The only time I ever dumped my motorcycle/scooter was late at night coming around a turn, and someone did hit the curb, and the chunk of concrete was in the middle of the road, and I hit it because it was dark. And then I fell on the road. I'm okay, though. It was like 3:30 in the morning. There were no cars around. It's okay.
Speaking of the road.
And then the other thing was bike lanes. We were talking about bike lanes and how, like, they just stop.
Right.
What is a bicyclist supposed to do?
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
I'm seeing if Keith knows anyone in the club who might have producer abilities.
Yeah, we'd have to actually schedule.
For Friday.
But that's a time that we're out of town a lot, too, so.
For Friday this week for the awards.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Rob.
Andrew Bauman.
What's going on, man? It's early.
It is. I mean,
It's a busy week.
it's regular people time.
It's regular people time.
Right. About now, in a former job I already had 2 meetings. I would have had a production
I'll be
meeting.
remashing in the second batch for the day.
Yeah.
It's true.
Have you ever had like an office job? Because let's think about this. You brewer, catering, restaurants.
Catering was
college.
the closest I ever had.
Yeah.
Which was because I was the operations manager. So I'd work with customers to get their order together and do the rental stuff and do site inspections and all that stuff. So,
Did you have a desk?
yeah. It was a standing desk. Actually, it was a sitting desk that I put on milk crates. And then my boss is like, why do I have to look at your dick all day?
There's no little, okay.
No, we were next to each other. I was standing, she was sitting.
Oh, you were that close?
Yeah.
That's funny. Did you have a calendar? Did you use a calendar?
Did I use a calendar
Yes.
in my catering job? Yes, very much.
I'm just asking because I find more and more that people.
Yeah.
In
Well,
our-
so that was only a quasi desk job because I was still doing site inspections. I was still doing operations in the field on weekends and all that. So, like, no, I've never actually had an office job before this. Is this an office job? It's not too bad.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not an office job as I remember office jobs.
Okay.
We do have desks. We do sit at them quite frequently.
Yeah,
We're on
yeah.
computers. That is
A
all
lot.
true.
Yeah.
That is all true. But we have meetings and we use a calendar. Do you remember like those systems that you bought into, like with tabs and calendars and to-do lists?
Those were things. I do know those things. I had a Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot. Yeah.
So even way, way, way back, I was using a Palm Pilot to keep notes and keep myself organized. And then, of course, phones appeared and things.
Yeah, I had a Palm Pilot, and this was like when the first time I went to Belgium, there was an app on there that would detect Wi-Fi. It didn't tell you if it was free or anything like that, but
Right.
It was like we used that to once in a while, send a message to the real world. Wow. Because heaven forbid you didn't want to use the phone because
Oh, it was $85 a minute.
right. Right. Yes. Which is interesting because look, we are underwriting the transatlantic cable that was laid in the 50s,
Yeah.
right? Okay, great. This is why we can't do this.
Perfect.
Because somewhere down the line, it goes to a LAN connection.
Right.
All those mobile phones and stuff. So that's a subsidization, just like rail line or highways or airports. I'm getting into a political thing.
Wow.
So the whole
They're really attacking
nobody
me.
uses light rail, we shouldn't pay for it. Like, all right, well, there's thousands of miles of sidewalks on a given point in time.
No one's using.
walking on it. Streets, same. Curb.
I was talking
Nobody hit that curb, so I guess we don't need curbs.
Yeah. Okay, curb story. The only time I ever dumped my motorcycle / scooter was late at night coming around a turn, and someone did hit the curb, and the chunk of concrete was in the middle of the road, and I hit it because it was dark. And then I fell on the road. I'm okay, though. It was like 3:30 in the morning. There were no cars around. It's okay.
Speaking of the road.
And then the other thing was bike lanes. We were talking about bike lanes and how like they just stop.
Right.
What is a bicyclist supposed to do? I'm going this direction. Oh, I guess I have to go a different direction now. I can't go
if it
that
were
way.
The Sims, there'd be like 25 bicyclists just standing there waiting.
Waiting for someone to build a new bike lane. Oh, geez. Okay, this is what happens at 8:30 in the morning.
I'm trying to segue this mofo. So you didn't ride a bike down to Tucson, but you were down in Tucson recently.
I'll tell you what. Wickenburg Oktoberfest is coming up, right?
Yeah.
It's coming up in a scant 10 days-ish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So exciting. Well, we were putting out the word through our member breweries that with posters, right?
Right.
So I ran some posters around the west side, and I wanted to get some posters to our attending brewery, Grand Canyon Brewing Company. So I reached out to Liz and said, hey, Liz, I have these posters. Are you going to be in town? She said, you know what?
What?
I am in town. Yes, that was Friday.
Okay.
And I said to myself, well, gosh, let's get you these posters. And she said, how about coffee tomorrow morning? I'm going down to Tucson for Button Brewing's Oktoberfest.
Okay.
I said, well, gosh, that sounds nice. I said, Bonnie, let's go say hi to Liz. She said, do I have to get dressed? I said, you have to get dressed. She's like, okay. So we went out,
Yep.
brought posters to Liz, met her at Press Coffee, and she convinced us to head down to Tucson. Didn't take a lot of convincing. We already talked about it, but the answer was no, we want to not do things today because it's been so busy.
Yeah.
And that all changed. So instead we went down to Tucson and did things.
All right. Well, so tell me about this, because here's the thing. A couple of days ago, I got a reminder of all the fun things I get to do, or sometimes stupid things, or whatever. But I don't know, it was like 8 years ago, I went to like 15 Oktoberfests in one day.
Oh, yeah.
And here's my confession. I have not been to a single Oktoberfest this year. And you know how much I love Oktoberfest. And you also know that I own several of the garments.
Yeah.
The lederhosen.
The cool stuff.
The socks, the different shirts, hats. I haven't. We just had so much going on. And this is your first Oktoberfest that you went to, presumably, this year?
On Friday, when I was doing my little journey, distributing posters to our friendly breweries in the West Valley, I went to Saddle Mountain Brewing Company, since they're going to be at Wickenburg Oktoberfest.
Yes. Let's rewind then. Let's rewind back to Button. I just wanted to know if you went to other ones.
So
up till Tucson, you had not been to one then.
So on Friday, when I went to Saddle Mountain Brewing Company, it was their kickoff of Oktoberfest weekend, and their entire staff was dressed in Oktoberfest garb.
I get that, but I'm trying to get you back to Tucson.
Oh.
Morning off Tucson, you had not been to an Oktoberfest the entire year, and you were about to go.
Actually, on Friday, I went to one at Saddle Mountain Brewing Company. It wasn't a festival, but it was an Oktoberfest celebration.
Okay.
That was my first Oktoberfest this year.
Okay.
You know the one I missed? Desert Monk Brewing Company had one 2 weeks ago, but we were out of town.
Yeah. In the past, and we haven't done it this year because of circumstances, but, and on any given September-ish to October-ish, right?
Yes.
Because this is a how many days? It's like a 10-day.
It starts the Thursday before 2 Thursdays before the first Saturday in October. Whew.
Right. And it's 17 days, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it depends on where the Saturday falls. Like this year, the first was a Sunday. So
We could look this up.
yeah.
All I'm going to say is today is the last day of Oktoberfest proper.
Is it really?
But yeah, today
I
is.
thought it always ended on a Saturday.
No, I think it's a set amount of days and
Okay.
then Saturdays, right? So today is, but however, people have them in mid-September all the way through the entire month of
October.
and that's fine.
It,
right?
it just makes sense to say
So-
Oktoberfest.
If you include any brewery that has a stake in an Oktoberfest, it's an Arizona brewery, i.e. they're doing something like Saddle Mountain,
Yeah.
or they are bringing people together a la Button, or like we do in Wickenburg, 30 to 40 of these happen, right? And this is kind of why we used to, as an organization, come around to do these things. But more and more, it is a homecoming. It is a welcome back from your summer. Let's rally around our local businesses. It's very hyper local, right? So the Button, generally speaking, is Tucson breweries exclusively, right?
No.
Well, generally,
Yeah.
predominantly.
More than 50% of the breweries are from Tucson.
Okay, so
There's a
Yeah.
wide variety of breweries,
Yeah.
but yes.
But they start. I'm sure they started with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why we have sort of carved out Wickenburg, because there is a brewery that's supposed to open. It hasn't opened yet, and maybe we'll get some information when we head out there. Thursday before, I think, is when we have our Airbnb. Maybe we'll get some more information about that. So that's kind of like the edge of a bunch of different distributor territories. It's, by the way, as we sit here at Fate's Tempe, where our office is in this building, in the same building, on Southern and between Mill and Rural, we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from Tucson, right?
No, it's an hour and a half from my house. So it'd be like an hour and 45 from here.
But I'm driving.
Oh, okay.
It's about an hour and 15. All right,
Okay, yeah.
it's about the same from here
Yeah.
to Wickenburg,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
If you are anywhere north of Tempe, or specifically adjacent to a freeway, especially when going north and south, potentially you're closer. And if you're in Glendale, or you're in Peoria, or you're just Deer Valley, Air Park area, I mean, you probably could hit that in under an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
I did a little Google map thing that took me from like on the map where it said the word Glendale. I'm thinking like about at Shamrock Foods. Is 40 minutes from there to Wickenburg.
Yeah.
According to Google Maps, which is probably like 27 minutes if you're driving.
Yeah. And as I recall last year, like there are things to do around there that have nothing to do with what we're doing. I mean,
The ranches,
small little
hikes.
park. Yeah, there are definitely ranches. I went to the Vulture Mine.
State Park?
No, it's privately owned.
Okay.
It's very very much looks like a Western movie set. You can go in a lot of the buildings. It's a historical museum of sorts too. But they have a large area that one could have an event there. And for the people going, well, why don't you have an event there? Like, well, I mean, we have a better event space than that in downtown Wickenburg in terms of parking, support, centrality, resources. However, I mean, like,
closer to the downtown where after party can happen or whatever.
Right. A company, it's out that place is out on a dirt road, right?
Vulture Mine, yeah.
Yeah. However, if we ever got Wickenburg to like, let's say the 1,000 people status, which we're not even close, we would design it so you wouldn't necessarily feel like it's 1,000. But if we ever got to that point, then we say, hey, let's do something Friday. Let's do something a little different. And on top of it all, we can
maybe have
justify
like
that.
a catered dinner out there.
Yeah, then we can justify it. But by all means,
there's stuff to do.
For anyone who says, like, oh, well, they should do this. Hey, might be the time for you to get into the industry and do these kinds of things.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to say, we're partnering with, so-and-so who has formed an association with these other folks, and they are integrated with a bunch of restaurants who are dying to, meet our clients. Yeah, that would be great. So all that's possible.
All that's possible.
You looked it up.
I did.
Because I bloviated long enough. I filibustered, and now you can.
Okay. Oktoberfest is
This
held,
is according to AI, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, so take it with a grain of salt.
It's shaded a little bit, so like.
Oktoberfest is held annually in Munich, Bavaria. It typically starts in mid-September and runs for about 16 days, ending on the first Sunday of October. So it's over. Sorry, bud.
I don't know.
2023 festival will extend to 18 days to take advantage of a public holiday on October 3rd.
What is today? October
3rd.
Yeah. Okay. So.
They extended it in Munich an extra 2 days.
Yeah.
Because today's a public holiday.
Because I was gonna ask our other bots, the Googles and the Alexas, because that's where I got my information. So, when I woke up this morning, I said,
yeah.
When is it in Munich?
Aha.
And that's where I got my information. And this is, if you're on the video, you're gonna see this, but if you're not, I'm still wearing my official Adidas. I'm wearing my Adidas Oktoberfest shoes.
It's very
Sorry to be waving my dirty shoe in your face.
Rob.
It says Prost on the one side. It's got embroidery of pretzels and according to Adidas, that it is vomit proof.
Oh yeah.
We don't test those kinds of things here at the Guild Laboratories, but that's.
Hey, you know what we did?
What?
We wrapped up Wickenburg Oktoberfest. We wrapped up Oktoberfest, Button Oktoberfest.
Well, we teased all that.
I know. So let's take a break.
Okay.
All right, break time. That was terrible. Terrible high five.
Oh,
I blamed myself.
it sounded good.
It's the same.
I did the look away. I looked away. I'll do a note during the break.
What's up?
I'm just going to do this Arizona note during the break.
Oh, great.
So this is an apple from one of my trees in Flagstaff, and I didn't know I had an apple tree initially because it didn't bear fruit for like the first 2 years. But I found out it was an apple tree and read into it. Like, so if your apple tree doesn't bear fruit, it's because there isn't a pollinator nearby. So sometimes you have to get a crab apple tree or another apple tree to, so they can pollinate together.
And it has to be closer.
Right.
Because there's those apple trees all over your neighborhood.
Yeah, here and there, but a lot of them weren't producing either, so I don't know if it was just
Environmental cause or?
like a little climate shift or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up pruning the tree a little bit too, so that might have helped. It might have said, whoa, hey, I'm an apple tree. I got to get
Better
busy.
get myself going.
Anyway, these are young. They should have a light red tinge. And in Flagstaff, the season can go as late as November. So it is complicated because, as you know, in November we might have to be like looking on the ground we don't want to.
It could be snowing for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna play.
In fact, I heard there's snow up this weekend.
But when they first, obviously we tried them when they first started to produce apples from the flowers, and you're supposed to try them, and they were very tart. I thought, maybe we just have a crab apple tree, and then as it started to get larger apples, you sort of understand, because you can look up that it's an apple tree, and you can get on an app, and it'll tell you like what it could be, but you just never know what actual varietal you have or whatever. So I believe this is a paradise apple. I don't know what that means. You can't buy paradise apples in the store, as far as I know. But it would be like you had it. It was like a green Granny Smith. But not as grotesquely large as.
Delicious, absolutely awesome.
So they're starting to get some sugar, and I would assume as they get more and more red, they'll be sweeter. And then,
now you have to experiment with harvest times. Oof.
Yeah. Well, and then Brenda's like, "Well, we could make apple cider." I'm like, That's a whole nother thing it's a whole nother, I mean, we'd get an apple press and like, we might get we wouldn't get enough juice from.
You get like half a gallon off your whole tree? Nah, it'd be more than that.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's my little Arizona specific.
It's pretty cool. These paradise apples common in Arizona?
Oh.
We don't know either. No one knows.
I just put an apple in my mouth, so let me finish this apple
Okay,
so we can get on.
fair enough.
Unless you have something to say.
Let's see. No,
It's not on our agenda.
no.
Because we didn't really get into the actual nuts and bolts of what you saw and who you talked to at Button. So
Yeah,
think about that. I'm almost done here.
all right.
We can talk about the beer.
Sure. Oh, this is Morning Sex from Beer Research Institute in Mesa. We happen to have some, and I really wanted a dark beer, and so here we are. And it's warm. How'd that go with the apple?
Well, it definitely cancels out any tartness from the apple.
Yeah. It's very, I think the carbonation's good. I think the head retention's good.
yeah.
It's nice. It's a pretty beer and delicious.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, I would have an apple pie with this. A little bit of cinnamon, crust,
Real nice. What a great breakfast.
other sugars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was down there, they had a Stein holding contest. They had a costume contest. A lot of people dressed up. It was nice.
Yeah.
We had,
They have expanded that outdoor property a little bit, right?
they have a back porch area. So they have a front, like, deck.
Right.
They have a back activity area. And then for this event, they did the parking lot too.
Yeah.
So,
So they remained open as a business during this whole.
two different licenses. So we said, hey, outside beer stays outside, inside beer stays inside, 2 licenses. And as soon as we said that, people were like, oh, okay. You know, if you just tell them outside, inside, inside, they're like, what? Why? That sounds dumb. Maybe they're just trying to make us buy extra beer.
Yeah. No.
So as soon as I said there's 2 different licenses, people are like, oh, I
It's
get
like
it.
the floor is lava. Yeah. You can't. It's a game. Yeah. Yeah. Don't step on a yellow line.
I did. There's a speed bump I was just standing across and they saw a lady like trip on it. So I went over and used a bunch of chalk and just colored the entire speed bump and it looked very great. And I don't think anyone tripped again.
All right. Do me a favor and put yourself in that camera a little bit more just in case. There we go. Yeah, I know we're crooked, but I'll fix that later.
Okay. All right. Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
We have 4 remarkable cameras working today.
Incredible.
It's remarkable because they're all working at the same time.
It's weird. You just said it out loud.
I did.
That's fine.
I know.
Your call, not mine.
I want everyone to learn from our podcast. It's not easy to run all these cameras.
No.
There's a reason why people buy the high-end professional shit because it doesn't.
Break like this.
People who use their cell phones don't take 1 hour plus of video.
That's right. It's not designed for that.
Straight through. Yeah. Anyway, anyone? So obviously Grand Canyon was there. Button was there.
Yeah. Corbett.
Yes. Downtown Tucson Brewery.
Yeah. Let's see. 1912 was there. There's a lot of breweries there.
Yeah.
I could get the list.
That's
I don't want to leave anyone out.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anyone out. It made me feel bad.
So you talked to a few folks. What did Bonnie feel like? What's Bonnie's impression?
Of the Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. We helped out with gate when it was busy.
That's what I was fishing for. Yeah.
We helped
You
get.
just don't go to an Oktoberfest.
No.
You work And Oktoberfest.
Well, yeah, and also I didn't buy a ticket, so I wanted to give back.
Okay. Cool. Well, you don't have to look it up. Sorry.
I want to see
All right, you
who
look
it
it up.
was.
Because we're going to get into my little trip that has nothing to do with beer per se.
Everything has to do with
Yeah.
beer, right? Oh, man.
But I feel like Oktoberfests are these little profit centers, and we don't want to. We want to support those as an organization. We don't want to compete against those. Nevertheless, I think these kinds of festivals, everyone who talks about like, oh, it's just beer, like, well, this is something that infuses a bunch of cultural things. Some of them are authentic or whatever you want to say. Some of them are sort of made up, and they're riffed on across the continent, right? Like, I don't know that the Stein holding contest was something that was from the original Oktoberfest at a wedding.
Yeah, but people dress up
No,
for
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and people make pilgrimages to
Yeah.
Germany to go to Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
It's
in
kind
fact,
of cool.
I think John Hall is a friend of the show. John Hall, podcaster, journalist, beer guy that we refer to a lot. He was there. Don Say from the All About Beer podcast. I think M is also there.
Wow, cool.
I just seeing on Facebook. They told me when they were going, and I'm like, I can't really do it this year.
Dang it. I already went to Belgium. Can't fly Germany too. Damn it.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot. Oh, our friends from Homebrew Days, right? Isn't Jeremy there? Jones?
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, but they went.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Kevin Morris, Dennis Mitchell.
And Enrico Matassa.
That's his like online name, and I don't even remember his real name anymore. Oh, I know his name.
Yes.
I know his first name.
We'll just leave it as
Okay.
Enrico Matassa. I know Pete went in the past on their walks. I don't know if he was in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never gone to the actual Oktoberfest. People assume that I have, but I have not. And
I assume that you had.
It's always a difficult time.
Yeah,
Things
busy.
going on.
It's busy.
And you're only going for the spectacle of it as somebody who
Well,
thinks,
sure. And you're not getting the like regular, we're in Germany checking out all the stuff. You're just
Right.
going to be doing that one thing. Yeah. All right. Our brewery's at Button Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a few.
12 West, 1764 Vineyard, 1912 Brewing, Brill Mead Company. I didn't see them there, so they might have had something happen. Catalina, Corbett, Craft Ohana, that would be Modern Times and Maui.
Right.
They were there. Very nice. Electric Brewing, Grand Canyon, Harbottle. I did not see Huss Brewing. Iron. Oh, I know what happened. Huss and Moto Sonora and the shop donated beer, but were unable to attend. So they had a tent with all of their stuff and some volunteers pouring their beers and stuff. It was nice. Iron John's, Old Ellsworth, Oscar Blues, Ranch Hand, and Whiskey Del Bach. They were all there.
Nice.
It's, let's see, 18 on the list.
Nice.
It's good times.
I wish I could have been there.
It's always chill. They limited VIP tickets to 30.
Nice.
And they had a pretzel necklace and some Rice Krispie bars on that pretzel necklace bag for each of the VIPs. So they all had their little pretzel necklace. Isn't that cool?
Word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's pretty bomb.
So, we have anything else to say about Wickenburg itself? Or are we just going to riff on it here and there?
Yeah, no, just here and there. I mean, I don't think there's...
Okay. Well, let me talk about why I couldn't make the...
Your Friday, yeah.
Yeah, my Friday. So I had the invite to Merkin's new winery and a restaurant. I don't know if they're calling it a Trattoria or a Osteria or whatever.
Something fancy for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's in Cottonwood. So they were downtown on the street level, and they bought a property that they could grow, make wine, be a sort of a manufacturer. Obviously, they wanted a restaurant, and to the same caliber as the one in downtown Cottonwood, which was high quality, right? So I guess they're having a series of openings. I don't know if this is the first one. It was the first one where they cut a ribbon, and the mayor of Cottonwood was there, who owns that trailer company.
Yes.
That had a trailer that was for
Kitted
raffle.
out for that brewing.
Right. So something that might happen again this year. So he was there. It's sort of on this hill, and again, they're growing wine grapes on it. They have a production facility. I don't know, just casually remembering maybe a dozen tanks. They had, when I looked inside, they had bins filled with grapes. You could see all the conveyance equipment kind of parked on the outside, roped off. On the one side of the hill, there was some other outbuildings around this raised. You go up this hill, right? I think it's like 150 feet or so above street level.
Okay.
And there's a parking lot, and all that stuff's on the top of the hill, including this restaurant, which has this, amazing indoor-outdoor feel. Like you'd almost feel like it's a ship's prow in the front with the open patio and
Cool.
Pizza oven. They served us, all the cocktail party things, right? Cubes of cheese and charcuterie and breads and.
Did they have sliced melons?
They had a watermelon mint tomato salad.
Okay, I'll take it.
How's that?
Great.
These pasta purses full of either vegetables or meats, pepperoni pizzas, goat cheese pizzas, and of course they got slammed, and they were either out of plates or, we talk about this a lot when a pizza restaurant gets slammed. You kind of just have to roll with it. They're not going to have that really crispy, tight inner pizza, but nobody complained because everybody loved it. It was good.
It was super cool.
You just basically have
was wine.
200 people descend at the same time, and yeah, there's wine, and everyone's done snapping their pictures, and then they want to eat, and yeah, they did a good job. Hugely staffed gift store. I bought a little hoodie. No, it's not a hoodie. It's more of it's a warm-up jacket.
Oh.
Stripes.
Oh.
Yeah, warm-up jacket.
Nice. Warm-up jacket.
We bought some wine for our neighbor because up in Flagstaff. But the mechanics of this are, one, haven't really said this, but won't reveal too many details. But my wife is recovering from surgery. She actually just got cleared to eat regular food and alcohol and caffeine. So
And walk.
yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. So, we were limited in that we probably didn't want to stay in town. So we drove up our dog, Hazel, and Tom and Jill's dog, because they were visiting somewhere else. And so we had two dogs. We had to get them all the way up to Flagstaff, hang out, come back down.
Mm-hmm.
And go back up. So, our time was limited. We could only really sample the entire experience, which, I was joking because originally you were going to go with me and things didn't work out. But I'm like, yeah, we would have waited. We would have just went to the end there, and then we would have had to figure out how to stay in town.
Yeah.
And I would have to call my neighbors, feed my dogs, because it was a beautiful evening, and we would have just been like, let's go to Smeltertown now.
Let's keep this rolling.
let's go to that brewery. Let's wake up tomorrow and have wines at some of the wineries. Yeah. So that didn't happen, but it could happen for anybody who's listening. First of all, you didn't need to justify going to Cottonwood to go to this. This is like the capstone on something that was already very cool, because you do have that brewery in Cottonwood. You have Belfry. You have Smeltertown. You've got
Smeltertown's hotel.
Yeah. You've got Bodega Pierce Winery right on and you got Chateau Tumbleweed, which, by the way, I was pleasantly surprised. They are the wine of choice at Wren House's
Suit Hall.
Yeah. Exemplifying a relationship I knew that existed. So that was kind of cool when you guys know each other. Oh, cool. They exchange things all the time, and now it's a business relationship, which is
cool.
Excellent. And hopefully someday, that will be reciprocated. Maybe you'll be able to get a Valley beer at Chateau Tumbleweed. That's what we're all working for, right?
That's right.
So there's already I hate using this word because now it's like woke. There's a vibrant downtown area. There are shops, there are hotels, there are things that have been in place. And listening to the policymakers there, they literally said 10 years ago we wanted to be more like Napa. We wanted to be the heart. We wanted to represent Arizona wineries, and people laughed at them because one of the hotels that is now the place to stay, kind of used to be kind of methy, and that's all changed, for the better. I was told what the investment was there. I won't repeat it. It was a lot of money on what that cost, that actual property to develop, push it out, all that stuff. But again, you didn't need that to go there. It will bring a wider audience. Excellent. It will bring dividends to our breweries, even though this is a wine-centric town.
Tourism.
Yeah, tourism.
Something like this being built by someone like him.
Yeah.
There's going to be national press about it, and that is great.
Yeah, yeah.
How many F-16s could be built from how much it costs to put up that winery?
Yeah, it's
one.
It is a real number.
I think it's one.
That's. Are we talking about the secondary market?
Not those trash F-14s Iran flies. I meant a new F-16.
So no, it's wonderful. Jerome's up there too. Everybody that used to be the place to be, right? I'm going to tell you, man, it's Cottonwood. It is Cottonwood. And
Smeltertown's in
Clarkdale. Yeah. Clarkdale has its charms. They have the Copper Museum there.
Oh, I love walking around that place. They have a beautiful little park. The whole square area is nice.
Yeah. That's the secret, quiet part of Cottonwood, or whatever. I guess.
I think I haven't really done much in Cottonwood. I went to that brewery once. I went to I think I've been to Belfry twice somehow. Mm-hmm. But I always end up at Smeltertown. So I didn't know that was different.
Oh, there's the Yucca North Yucca Tap Room, Tempe / in Cottonwood.
In Cottonwood, wow.
It's called the Jackalope. Right? Our buddy Casey, who manages all that.
Yeah,
travels the state. He's
things you learn on this podcast.
Yeah, there's a couple other joints down there. So, and I know my first year that we had, one of the first years we had Arizona Beer Week, they did it up. I remember that. Literally in Clarkdale, they have that. They have a giant mash tun, in the front of the Copper Museum, and they have it's from, I think it was German origin, purchased in Belgium, brought back to Texas, and then that's all I know about it. That's all the docent at the museum knew about it. So yeah, there's stuff happening. Sort of bouncing back on Wickenburg, this is why we have this Wickenburg October. So we have the cooperation of the town, and we want people to explore other parts and understand things. Now, is a rock star winery going to open in
Wickenburg next week?
No. But a small brewery, we'll see what their story is. Maybe they just need a bunch of knucklehead beer guys like us and our fans to push something over the edge. Like, because I don't think it's the city holding them back, so I'm not sure what it is. So we'll find out more.
You know how construction goes.
Yeah. We left one thing on the table, and this is the focus of every hour after we shut the cameras off.
Yes.
Till Friday at 6 o'clock.
10. When it's over.
Yeah. Oh, no, but once we open the door, it's like...
Oh, well. All the planning's out the door.
Yeah.
It's just going to roll.
We're just handing out medals and...
Yeah. Arizona Craft Beer Awards, Friday.
Yeah. There's no public component, unfortunately, this year.
There is no public component this year. You said unfortunately. I don't really find it to be unfortunate.
Well, for people listening, well,
yeah.
I mean,
there is. Hopefully, we're going to have it streaming.
Yeah, we did put that on our heads, didn't we? We're going to try to get it streaming. It would be on our YouTube channel. So
the challenge is both of us are on the stage, so it's really hard with no one else available to have someone produce a streaming show. But we're reaching out to friends to see if we
because there's things you have to monitor.
Yeah.
And if they don't work, we can't just
stop the entire thing and fix it.
But to show you the possibilities, like our show last year is on our YouTube channel. You can watch it. Yeah. You can watch it, the whole thing. It's just one static camera angle. And so it was too much to we had like a 15 to 20 minute meeting to go over all the things that we could do, and like we cobbled it together based on that. And then I was there like at 8 or 9 in the morning trying to make it happen and doing other things too, right? Not totally on that task. So it's possible. But ideally we'd like some help on that. We've done streaming things before, but when you do a recorded piece versus a stream piece versus a live thing, those are all 3 different
sets of skills.
Well, and requirements and goals, right? I mean, so we might need some help with that. Although we'll probably just wing it again. So hopefully we can pull that off so that people get the experience, and we can take that event. That event has so much more potential. And we have discussions about how much the public could be involved and what that means. So vis-a-vis the Great American Beer Festival, they have a public component and they have a private component, and then at some point those things come together. But we want it to be on the terms of our industry stakeholders. There is something special about that time together without having someone looking over your shoulder and saying, "Oh, what are you drinking?" And and then having to be back in sales mode. And so I get that.
And someone else said it's kind of like a festival where we don't actually have to work.
Right, right. So I don't know. Like, people talk about volunteer opportunities for us all the time, and we're very reluctant to on a large scale because of the liquor liability. But there might be a role for something like that. I don't know. So if anyone's listening, got some ideas, we'd happy to sit down and have a meeting and figure something out. But that event could be to the next level, a lot of levels. And right now, it's just kind of still in year 2. It's still proof of concept in terms of that thing should be doing some more on the revenue end for us. And it's as much as I like the current venue, we may have to switch to something that we're going to get regular answers on, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question. We did have a little bit of a surprise, I guess you could say, when we're trying to reach out for a final walkthrough and our contact was gone and had not left any notes or scheduled it on the calendar or anything. So it was a little dicey for a day or so.
Yeah. And
in a short 40 minutes, we have a meeting with our new contact.
Yeah. And the bedrock of this is, and the things that I would say, are overwhelmingly pushing us towards continuing to do this. Like, there's no question of that at all. But the thing that really sells it for me is the way that Shamrock once again stepped up and allowed us to have their judging at their location, and the fact that we had 50 plus judges. So that community part of it is strong. I guess at some point we just need to say this is when we're having this, and we're not going to try to negotiate with everything else going on in the world, right? Because we do have the festival component a couple weeks later at Sportsman's Park, which everyone knows is Cardinal Stadium, the little grassy area. I mean, that's a great thing, but we probably just need to stay in our lane and just figure out this thing and let that happen. And all these other Oktoberfest things, I mean, we've clearly have said we're focusing on this, and we're not going to 30 or 40 Oktoberfests anymore until we get this settled out. So, right? I mean, that's the way the math works.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year the judge program, which is not just something that happens in a day. There's a series of meetings where we all get together, we do mock judging, we do education and vocabulary and all kinds of stuff with our judges, and that's not going to stop. So that takes a lot of buildup and a lot of working to do. And then judging day went off great, and I'm sure that the awards is going to go great. And it's just, getting sponsors.
Sure. And it's not just getting sponsored. It's us being able to deliver the package too. Like, we are definitely in a resource time suck right now.
Yeah.
So,
there's so much going on this time of year, and it's hard for everyone to do stuff, but hey, here we go.
Great. Listen, we're going to cut this show because we do have a lot to do. We've got some things, obviously, for this event. I've got 2 things I want to discuss to you just literally based off this conversation. So I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
Strong Beer Festival tickets are on sale right now. Low key.
High key as soon as we hit Barrels, Bottles, and Brews.
Yep.
And then we'll have our Black Friday program with our breweries and all the things.
Yeah. And so we also have Wickenburg Oktoberfest, WickenburgOktoberfest.com. We have these awards that we're working on. Look for the live stream announcements on all your socials. The Arizona Craft Beer Awards Festival coming up on the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
And I would buy those tickets because you don't want to be shut out of that. It's a lot to be shut out of. So is that it? That's all we got?
That's all we got.
We didn't even get to our second beer, but that's okay.
We didn't need a second beer.
Hey, it's not a beer podcast. It's about beer.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.